Where do you go when you're thirsty? The kitchen faucet? A mountain spring? Somewhere with clean, pristine water? Now imagine if you didn't have to go anywhere at all, because every ocean on Earth suddenly turned into fresh water. No salty sea spray, no bitter brine, just endless, clear freshwater seas stretching to the horizon. Sounds like a dream, right? Unlimited drinking water, an end to water scarcity. But before you start planning your oceanside freshwater mansion, what if I told you this miracle would wreck our planet? To understand why, we have to ask the big question. Why is the ocean salty in the first place? Earth's oceans weren't always salty. Billions of years ago, when the planet first cooled and water condensed, the early seas were mostly fresh. But rain isn't pure. As it falls, it absorbs tiny amounts of carbon dioxide from the air, making it slightly acidic. That rainwater hits rocks, dissolving minerals and carrying them into rivers. And rivers, for billions of years, have carried those minerals into the ocean, adding chemicals from underwater volcanoes and vents. And over nearly 4 billion years, salt has built up to create the oceans we know today. Right now, ocean water has an average salinity of about 3.5%, or roughly 10 times saltier than human blood. This balance is crucial to everything that lives here. So what if all that salt just vanished? Let's picture this crazy scenario. All the salt instantly disappears. No slow change, no transition, just fresh water everywhere. At first glance, it seems like a solution to global water shortages. After all, fresh water is getting scarcer. But this immediate miracle would be a disaster. First, the total collapse of ocean life. Every sea creature on Earth, from tiny plankton to giant whales, is adapted to live in salty seawater. Their bodies are finely tuned to that 3.5% salinity. Suddenly replacing it with fresh water would cause most marine life to die within days because they can't regulate their internal chemistry fast enough. Even species that can live in both salt and fresh water, like salmon, struggle with such a dramatic change. Coral reefs would bleach and collapse, and phytoplankton, the tiny plants that produce nearly half of Earth's oxygen, would dwindle dramatically. Second, Earth's ocean engine would break. Salt isn't just seasoning. It's the fuel for a planetary heat engine. Salter water is heavier than fresher water. Combined with temperature differences, this creates the global thermohaline circulation, a massive underwater conveyor belt that redistributes heat around the world. It's what helps keep Western Europe warmer, moderates tropical climates, and stabilizes weather systems. Remove the salt, and this engine collapses. Heat gets trapped in some places, while others plunge into deep freezes. Weather becomes unpredictable and extreme. Climate scientists even warn that current warming trends and melting polar ice are already weakening key currents. A real-world example of how sensitive this system is to salinity changes. Third, the global climate would go wild. Without that salt-driven circulation, tropical regions would trap more heat, polar regions would get colder, and storms and hurricanes would grow stronger and more erratic. Warm water wouldn't travel north, cold water wouldn't sink. Earth's climatic thermostat would be thrown completely out of balance. And because salt affects how water freezes, the entire ice cycle of our planet would change too. Fourth, our oxygen and carbon dynamics would unravel. Remember phytoplankton? They aren't just the base of the food web. They produce a huge amount of the world's oxygen and absorb carbon dioxide from the atmosphere. Lose them, and the air we breathe changes. Oxygen drops. CO2 rises. The greenhouse effect intensifies, making heat waves and extreme weather even worse. A fresh ocean wouldn't just mean a world without fish. It would mean a world with less breathable air. So, could this ever happen naturally? Here's the twist. The oceans becoming entirely fresh is virtually impossible in real life. There simply isn't enough fresh water from melting ice to dilute all the planet's salty seas. Even if all polar ice melted, the changes in salinity would be minor on a global scale. What is happening, however, are regional salinity shifts because of melting ice and changing rainfall patterns. And those changes are already affecting ocean circulation and ecosystems, a sign that even small shifts are significant. So what's the final takeaway from this wild what if? Salt in the ocean isn't just an ingredient. It's a balancing force that helps regulate our climate, supports countless ecosystems, and structurally influences Earth's heat engine. Without it, life as we know it would unravel, not because of thirst, but because the very foundations of climate and life itself would be destroyed. So next time you taste the sea, remember that salt is more than just flavor. It's life's balancing act, keeping our world running. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this thought experiment, be sure to hit that subscribe button and ring the bell so you don't miss our next video. See you next time.